Do you know about alchemical sexual alchemy?
Sexual alchemy.
Yeah.
I know alchemy.
I'm talking about Tantra.
I made a lot of money on alchemy in the early 70s.
Do you know that the story of Jesus, how it's been altered in certain ways? I mean, yes, there's a guy, yes, there was teachings, all that stuff, but there's 33 vertebrae in your spine. There's 33 years in the life of Jesus. Substance that comes from your medulla, which is basically completely looks like the Ark of the Covenant. Has angel's wings around it, the whole thing. This substance comes from your medulla, makes the trip down your spine to your sacrum, which is
Quick, get a dictionary.
Christ coming down into human form. And if you don't squander that essence, that sexual essence, it ascends again and goes back up to heaven, which is your thing. It's also the story of Santa Claus. Why he comes down the chimney is because this juice or this whatever substance actually passes what's called the claustrum, which is where they got Santa Claus. So it goes down the chimney and back up the chimney. It's all very freaky shit. The parallel between that and alchemical sex is that I think he probably saved it, so that he could be clear, so that he could be sharp.
Huh.
A young man should learn to rule his body like his temper. He should keep it always under complete control. That sometimes is not easy to do. Within your body, you have the power of creation. You will one day find a mate and desire greatly to express fully your love with her. The righteous expression of this physical love in marriage is approved of the Lord. She may then conceive and give birth to a boy or a girl, a baby, of whom you will be the father. This is a very sacred power. The Lord has commanded that you use it only with one to whom you are legally and lawfully wedded, and He has decreed serious penalties indeed for the misuse of it. This power begins early in life, with some when you are hardly in your teens. This has a purpose. For with this power come the attributes of manhood. You notice the changes in your stature, in your voice, a beard and other masculine characteristics become part of your nature. Your feelings also change. The physical power will influence you emotionally and spiritually as well. It begins to shape you to fit and to look and to feel and to be what you need to be as a father. It affects your life several years before you should express it fully. You must always guard this power with manly wisdom. You must wait until your marriage to use it. During that waiting, what do you do with these desires? My boy, you are to control them. You are forbidden to use them now in order that you may use them with worthiness and virtue and with the fullness of joy at the proper time in your life. I wish to explain something that will help you understand your young manhood and help you develop self-control. When this power begins to form, it might be likened to having a little factory in your body, one designed to produce that substance that can generate life. This little factory moves quietly into operation as a normal and expected pattern of growth and begins to produce that life-giving substance. It will do so perhaps as long as you live. It works very slowly. That is the way it should be. For the most part, unless you tamper with it, you will hardly be aware that it is working at all. As you move closer to manhood, this little factory will sometimes produce an oversupply of this substance. The Lord has provided a way for that to be released. It will happen without any help, nor without any resistance from you. Perhaps one night you will have a dream, and in the course of it, the release valve that controls that little factory will open and release all that is excess. The factory and the automatic release valve works on its own schedule. The Lord intended it to be that way. It is to regulate itself. This will not happen very often. You may go a long period of time, and there will be no need for this to occur. When it does, you should not feel guilty. It is the nature of young manhood and is part of becoming a man. There is, however, something you should not do. Sometimes a young man does not understand. Perhaps he is encouraged by unwise or unworthy companions to tamper with that factory. He might fondle himself and open that release valve. This you should not do. For if you do, that little factory will speed up, and you will be tempted to tamper with it again and again. You can quickly be subjected to a habit, one that is not worthy, one that will leave you feeling depressed and guilty. Resist that temptation. Do not be guilty of tampering or playing with this sacred power of creation. Keep it in reserve for the time that it can be righteously employed. Now, one of you perhaps has not fully understood until now. Perhaps your father did not talk to you. You may already have been guilty of tampering with these powers. You may even have developed a habit. What then? First, I want you to know this. If you are struggling with this temptation, and perhaps have not been quite able to resist it, the Lord still loves you. It is not anything so wicked, nor is it a transgression so great the Lord would reject you because of it. But it can quickly lead to that kind of transgression. It is not pleasing to the Lord, nor is it pleasing to you. It does not make you feel worthy or clean. Now, there are ways to conquer such a habit. First of all, you must leave that little factory alone long enough for it to slow down. Resisting is not easy. It will take weeks, even months. But you can get the little factory slowed back to where it should be. I have another suggestion. The power to prevent such habits or to break them rests in the mind, not in the body. Don't let the physical part of you take charge. You stay in control. Condition your body to do the will of your mind. To do this, you must keep always worthy and clean thoughts. Divert your thoughts from things that lead you to mischief. Vigorous physical exercise benefits young men in many ways. You are most vulnerable when you are idle and discouraged. That is the time to keep on guard. I know a way to keep your thoughts worthy. It has helped me, and I explained it on one occasion in a general conference talk. It has to do with selecting a favorite hymn and making that as the channel for your thoughts to follow at time of temptation. Another thing that will help you to prevent and to overcome such a habit, at times of special temptation, skip a meal or two. We call that fasting, you know. It has a powerful effect upon you physically. It diverts some of that physical energy to more ordinary needs. It tempers desire and reduces the temptation. Fasting will help you greatly. In the scriptures, and you should be acquainted with the scriptures, fasting and prayer are generally mentioned together. Prayer is a powerful instrument to bless young men. If a missionary, for instance, indulges in these unworthy practices, the Spirit of the Lord will leave him. When he is prayerful and will fast, the Spirit of the Lord sustains him, and he soon develops a manly restraint and control. Resist those temptations. Do not tamper with your body. If you have already, cease to do it now. Put it away and overcome it. The signal of worthy manhood is self-control. This creative power is ordained for the beginning of life and as a binding tie in the marriage covenant. It is not to be used prematurely. It is to be known between husband and wife and in no other way. If you misuse it, you will be sorry. Now a warning. I am hesitant even to mention this subject. It must be labeled as major transgression. It is not pleasant, but I will speak plainly. There are some circumstances in which young men may be tempted to handle one another, to have contact with one another physically in unusual ways. Latter-day Saint young men are not to do this. Sometimes this begins in a moment of idle foolishness when boys are just playing around. But it is not foolishness, it is remarkably dangerous. When a young man is finding his way into manhood, such experiences can misdirect his normal desires and pervert him, not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. It was never intended that we use this life-giving power only with one who is our partner in marriage. I repeat very plainly, physical mischief with another man is forbidden. It is forbidden of the Lord. Now, there are some men who entice young men to join them in these immoral acts. If you are ever approached to participate in anything like that, that is the time to vigorously resist.
Everything is energy. It is all around us in the air you breathe and the water you drink. It makes up everything that is life and is the essence of creation. When energy continues to flow, it creates a more abundant, healthy energy. When it is forced to a crashing halt, it brings with it massive devastation. Just like a lightning bolt can destroy a massive oak, the negative energy inside us can lead to disease and different ailments forming.
Even if you don't believe in chakra, semen retention has been practiced in various religions for centuries. It is believed that abstaining from ejaculation can be beneficial to physical, mental, and spiritual health. So you can pray. It will give you a similar effect to chakra. The main idea here is to keep your seeds and connect spiritually to have a clear vision to reach your goal and live happily. Having the strength to control your emotions on every level while tapping into your spiritual energy source will make you feel like you've accessed a higher power. Semen retention is the first step to tapping into this energy level.
It has been proven that keeping yourself clean will make you attract luck in your life while working toward your goal. If you're religious or spiritual, when you pray or meditate, do good and keep yourself clean, the reward from God, or the universe as you name it, is instant.
By retaining semen, you can increase your energy levels and focus on spiritual pursuits. It can also help create a connection to the divine and lead to greater self-discovery and a deeper understanding of yourself. It acts as a magnifier of your vibrational frequency. It heightens the signals you send into the universe and increases the magnetic polarity of your chakra system, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to manifest quicker and stronger.
For our YouTube channel, if you haven't subscribed to Your Future Self 365 and our newest channel, Rise and Thrive 365, do it, man. What are y'all waiting on, man? I'm working hard. We working hard to provide the motivation, inspiration, information.